up, guys? Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. We're one of your co-hosts today, every day, coming at you live from our studio here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily live show. We have a fun show for you guys today. Fun, knowledgeable, exciting, lots of news, lots of metrics, lots of stuff we're going to talk about. Will Bitcoin get to 30K? One person believes we haven't seen lows yet. We'll talk about that. We're also talking about Elizabeth Warren. We're talking about Gary Gensler panhandling on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana. Says he needs more money. We're going to discuss that and much, much more. But first, here's your other host, Robin.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, boring, and stale information and repackage it up in a fun, sexy way. Also, Sin City Crypto, we like to look at that price of Bitcoin, which it did cross 29,000 yesterday or this morning, or a little bit of both, and then now it's back under 28. But anyways, we saw you. We saw you flirting. We saw you flirting, Bitcoin. We paying attention. I seen it. And we also seen Bullish Kenny G leading off the charge with one gifted membership. All right, I want to say hello to the chat. To you sitting there on the couch, driving in your car, at the gym, or at work. I want to say hello and good morning. Start this day off by hitting that like button. Also, if you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We have Ox Machina, Chemo and Crypto Locks. We have Strong Like Wood, Luis Molina, Med Inas, as well as Unforgettable Name. And then
Strong Like Wood. Huh?
Yeah, Strong Like Wood. And also we got Anton in here as well. And so, yeah, if it's your first time checking us out, let us know so we can give you a big old shout out. And then, yeah, man.
When I say pizza.
Don't even go there.
When I say pizza.
You should ask
And
for a permit.
I say, let's play a game. I say pizza, you got to say a fruit.
I say New York.
No, you got to say fruit. What fruit? What's the first fruit that comes to your mind?
Pineapple.
What's the second fruit that comes to your mind?
There's
You
no
shouldn't be.
second.
It's like beer, bro. Stop putting fruit on beer, and
shouldn't
stop
be
putting
even a
fruit
first fruit.
on pizza, bro.
Where does banana fit in this? Where does banana rank?
I'm not
What do you
sure.
mean?
You know, pineapple's number one. If you were to rank banana in the fruit hierarchy on pizza, where would you rank it?
On pizza.
Or the top or the bottom?
Fruit and pizza don't mix, man. Like what?
So this is from our man Jimmy.
Of course.
Guys, go follow Jimmy on Twitter. Go follow Jimmy. So we've got this picture yesterday. Some banana pizza. Rocco calling in the National Guard, he said. This
Calling
looks
the SWAT team.
disgusting, dude. What is this? Jimmy, what are you doing? What is wrong with you, Jimmy? Well, I do know what's wrong with you, but what is extra wrong with you? Yes.
On that
Just-
one.
Also, I did mention our favorite senator, Elizabeth Warren. She is she's running for office again, not president, but to keep her Senate seat. And she is basing her entire run on anti-crypto army. So there's no audio to this, but you know, this is Elizabeth Warren is building an anti-crypto army as over-the-counter hearing aids are finally available. I don't understand the okay. $10 a day for childcare. All right, interesting. This is tweeted.
$10 a day for childcare?
Yeah.
That's $300 a month.
Depends on how many hours. You know? Is it half an hour? Is it 10 minutes? Either way,
How's she lump hearing aids, childcare, and
crypto.
anti-crypto all in
We don't
one?
know. But guys, please, for the love of God, if you love crypto and you're here and you live in Massachusetts, do not vote for her.
And
Let's get her out of
and
here.
if
man.
you live in that district, please also do us a favor. Tell your friends not to vote for her.
Tell your mom not to vote for her.
Mama.
Also, we have this, was pretty cool. This is the European Central Bank office in Germany. And so they projected a Bitcoin. That was pretty cool, man. But these are real pictures. So someone projected like the Batman signal, you know, the bat, when they need him. We need you,
Yes.
Bitcoin. We're summoning you to the European Central Bank headquarters.
That
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man.
I feel like there's somebody in the office that's like, stop. We get it.
they get burned.
Like somebody's
dope,
on
man.
the 65th floor and they're like, can you stop with the spotlight?
That's dope. I think this is cool. Also, something that's not very cool is the EU, the Parliament, want to put a 7,000 euro limit on cash payments and a 1,000 euro limit on crypto transfers. If you still think you give them the power of a CBDC, that they're going to just, oh no, they're only going to use it for good. Exhibit A. We've seen this happen in England. They've already talked about limits on central bank digital currencies. You can only store, I think the number was 10 or 20,000 pounds. It's coming. We also have a CBDC video coming that highlights both the positive and the negatives of CBDCs. That should be coming out soon here. What are your thoughts on this, man? A lot of people are saying we're heading into a cashless society. And obviously, if CBDCs take foot and take hold, you know, you see.
Here's the thing: like we are going to a cashless society. Make an argument that's for the worse, but that's just technology evolving, and whether you want to or not. In the same way that we're not transacting in gold at the local blacksmith here. You know, it's. I'm being real. Like in the past, in the past, you would take a nugget of gold or you pull a tooth out and you pay for it. And now, you have fiat currency, and at some point, you're gonna get away from cash. Now, you can say, hey, you know, fiat is, you know, well, cash is better than digital. Sure, I agree. If I had to choose one fiat or the other. But you know what? It's convenient. Here's the thing. Do I want to take my check? You remember back in the day where you would get your check and then you'd have to go down to check cashing, or you'd have to go somewhere and you have to cash your check, and then you have to sign a bunch of paperwork, and then you take the cash, and if you had to go pay a bill, you have to go drive down to the, you know, whatever office it is.
You still have to do that.
Yeah, you drive down to the some office or some bureau of whatever, and then you pay for your bill that way. Are we going to go back that direction? No. Obviously, you get direct deposited. It's more convenient. You take that, you make electronic payments. Only thing is we're trying to upgrade that system to get away from the banks who are fraudulent and spend your money to a more trustworthy scenario with options. Hey, you want to trust the government and use their system? Go right ahead. Me, I just want to make sure I have the option and that there is adoption of cryptocurrency where, hey, if I want to get paid to this place, whether it's a wallet, an exchange, a third party, whatever it is, some kind of crypto bank, you know, I get to choose, or I can just custody it myself and let me get that deposited. In the same way that like we started seeing it during the bull run, hey, get paid in Bitcoin. You know, I think that's going to be more mainstay. I think it's going to be more the norm going forward, is that people are going to be paid in the currency they want, in the manner that they want, and deposited where they want to keep it. And some people just want to have full faith in the government. If that's your narrative, cool, go about it. But I want options. I want to be able to choose to not be part of that system. And all we need realistically is adoption of the payments by retail and institutions, so that way I can take my payments to them.
What are your thoughts on chocolate chip ice cream? Are you with President Joe Biden that the greatest thing ever? Or?
Oh, is it? But like, why are you putting like? I'm not saying it's nasty by any means, but definitely not my go-to. I like more like flavors of ice cream. So instead of adding things to ice cream like cookie dough or cake batter or whatever it is, just make a good chocolate ice cream, or make a good strawberry ice cream with actual pieces of whatever the flavor is. So if you make a cherry ice cream, put cherries inside the ice cream and then flavor the ice cream with cherries.
Wow.
Stop putting all the weird stuff in.
As crazy as that sounds, Yeah.
The thing is like you get. Here's a good example. I had a friend coming. I had a friend from Portugal.
Hold on. Story time?
No, this was quick. So
No story.
I had a friend coming from Portugal, and he bought a can of lemonade.
A can of lemonade.
Yes, he bought a can of lemonade, and he looks at Erno as a can of oranges. I don't know. He got orange. He got some kind of juice.
Uh,
I don't remember what juice it was. This is bad. This was like 20 years ago, so I don't remember the details. Okay. But he got a can or a bottle or something, a 20 ounce. He got a thing of juice.
mm.
And on the bottle it said, contains 0% fruit juice. And he's like, what's in the bottle? And I said, I don't know. I don't know what's in there.
What's in the bottle? Formaldehyde.
He's like, if there's no juice.
Sounds like some Rocco would say, if there is no juice, what is in the bottle?
Somebody stole the juice.
Speaking of Italy,
What was that? What
were you showing us, Rocco? Why don't you let him talk about that?
No, because I know that in Italy there is already a limit. If you want to withdraw, like from the ATM, it's 250 euro. They limit.
250 euros
Yeah, you can
to withdraw from your ATM?
That's it. That's all you can get. And there is a maximum $2,000 euro
Per month?
No, for cash transaction. You can withdraw more than $2,000, 2,000 euro. So if you need more than that, it has to be wired. They need to know where you're going and where you're doing with the money.
It's been control,
a year
man.
already.
They want to know where the hell we're spending our money, and cash is our last stance.
The stadium here, cashless, baby.
Yeah.
You can't pay with cash at the Raider Stadium.
They're literally going to
Allegiant.
know every single dollar, dime you spend. Everywhere, when, what time, to who, how much, why. No bueno. You know what else is no bueno? You know, if I told you, hey, Robin, I am going to pay you $250,000 a year for the rest of your life. You are going to have immense power in shaping the future of this country. And all I need you to do is read legislation, support legislation, and try to lobby around legislation. Would it be too much of me to ask you to just make sure that whatever bill you endorse, that you would actually read it?
So
Is that egregious?
I feel like you're framing this narrative.
Just answer the question. Is that an
hold
egregious
on.
request?
So you're saying politicians get paid a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
They got a cool job.
They get a lot of
and
money.
then they get money. They got a cool job. And you're saying a bill or a proposal just to read it?
Yeah, just read it.
Makes sense.
Make it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what if I told you that our politicians here in the U.S.
Don't read the bills
not
they
only
sign?
do they not read
Absolutely.
them, they throw their name behind bills that go against their party lines.
Are you just now finding this out? Look, they look at the room. They're like, hey, what are the Republicans voting for today? Okay, cool. All right. So where are y'all voting? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, cool. And they walk in, boop, yes, and they walk out. They don't do any research. That's society we live in, bro.
Well, here we have Republican. I know we crap a lot on the Democrats, but the Lindsey Graham, the Republican from South Carolina. Listen to this. Rocco, pull up. Look at this.
Answers out of the Senator Lindsey Graham, who supports this and is here now. You got to be kidding me, Senator. Did you read this?
Yeah, I don't think I support the Restrict Act.
You don't support this because you were named as one of the supporters, because this is garbage.
Is this the one with John? There's two bills out there. One allows a review of businesses that are connected to China, give the secretary the ability to protect our data. Is that the Restrict Act?
He hasn't read it.
We got S686 right here. 7th. And we got a bunch of Republicans supporting it. Because this thing is crazy town. You don't want the government looking into your private phone.
No, I don't.
If
And
they have
can't.
a hunch you're colluding with the Russians, we remember how that turned
that's
out.
Right. Yeah, no, well, the Constitution trumps a statute. So let me come back and
Let me come back and
they set his ass up, man. He's a Republican. He got an interview opportunity to go on Fox News. He was like,
Good,
oh,
he
this
should be
He
set
was
up.
like, he's like, oh, this is gonna be a softball. I'm good.
He
and then
should
they're
be
like,
made
did
to
you
look
read
like
this?
an
This is
idiot.
trash. He's like, hold on, man. We Fox News, bro. We're on the same team.
Is that the one where it allows them to look at data from China? No, you haven't even read the thing, man. And that is the scariest part is we got these garbage politicians, both Democrat and Republican, that have no idea Someone puts up a bill like, hey, you want to sponsor this? Sure. What does it do? Oh, it doesn't let China look at our info. Sure, no problem. I'll throw my name behind it.
It's got 155 pages. That's all it does? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm down. Like,
no, seriously, man. Like, if I have the time to read it and I have a wife, a kid, work, job, studio, this, that, and I have time to sit down and read it, I'm sure you, Senator Graham, have the time to read it. At the very least, you have tons of people working in your office. I'm sure you have an assistant. Make them read it. Hire someone on Craigslist to read it. You can use Fiverr. Looking for a professional reader to give me a synopsis of what this is. I'm sure you can find someone.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's such horse crap, man.
That was the softball.
I'm happy, man.
What happened
I'm happy.
next?
I'm happy they put him on blast. And I don't care if he's Democrat, Republican. You want to be ignorant like that, then you deserve all the. Robin, what are the markets looking like? My blood pressure's looking high right now.
Markets.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Got a slice of pizza to put your
Market
blood
pizza.
down. No, for your blood.
You know, I've been craving pizza lately. Maybe I'll go get pizza.
Got pizza you gonna get, bro?
You already know the answer.
The banana one.
Barbecue banana pizza.
It's like he's looking. Is your pizza made with high fructose corn syrup? Yes, please. Thank you.
I think two.
Extra corn. Extra corn. Like, well, so there's no corn in there. I said extra corn.
Why did you put on the side? I want on top of it.
All right. Bitcoin, $27,852.
Wow.
12 cents.
Wow.
What volatility we had in the last 24 hours, right? Look at that. Look at this. What is this? This is 29,000.
Wow.
And this is 27,000.
Wow, Robin.
Are we having a flash crash?
We're crashing. Oh my God.
No, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not. 28.2 at the start of the show.
27.8. $400. Calm down.
I mean, it's pretty significant though.
What is that? 0.5%?
No, I mean we're seeing. I'm sure if you look at liquidations, we're probably getting cascade liquidations. People are expecting a breakout. You have the potential for this to keep going down. Also, I don't know if you're planning on talking about it. We have the quarter ending and the month ending and the week ending all tomorrow. It's a trifecta of ending. Could just be the end of crypto, right?
You know, Rocco's, since Robin set that up, why don't you go ahead and swap over to my left? Because what a great segue. I already had this ready. I was going to talk about it.
Okay.
We're talking about Bitcoin options. So we're going to look at two things. First thing we're going to look at is open interest by the strike price. Okay. Strike price is whatever price you are betting that the asset will be at when your option expires. If you got a call option and your strike price is 30,000, if you're at or above 30,000, depending on how close to the end of your contract you are, you're going to make money. If you're under, you're not. And the put options is vice versa. So you can see here, we have over almost 25,000 in call options at 30K, which means that if we're at 30K, 25,000 contracts of or 25,000 Bitcoin in these contracts will be in the money. Okay. But what's the most important thing I'm looking at is what are the bears doing? So the bears placed their bets at 25K. So if we're over 25K, close to 10,000 Bitcoin, will essentially, they're going to get wrecked. People that have that in 10,000 Bitcoin.
What are the bears doing?
Bears are getting wrecked.
What about the bulls?
Bulls are not getting wrecked as long as we stay above 25K.
What about the baboons?
Who is that? Like what? Where did baboon come from?
It's Margie.
Margie? Who's Margie?
The senator, right?
Marjorie?
Marjorie, yeah.
Marjorie Green?
Yeah.
Damn, that's messed up.
Just saying, man.
Okay.
She's the one on the bottom, right?
Welcome to Animal Planet, where we feature a different animal every day.
Let's go back to crypto.
Yeah, Karako, can you go back to my computer, please?
There
Okay.
we go.
So, just how important is this end of the month, end of quarter, end of week, end of everything? 85,000 Bitcoin for the call side and 65,000 Bitcoin on the put side. So, 65,000 bears, 85,000 bulls. That's how you can look at it, just to break it down in the simplest terms. So that's over 100, almost 150,000 Bitcoin that, go either way. Who's Matthew Barnes? Oh, Matthew Barnes is in our chat. So expect some volatility tomorrow. If we can hold the price above, and let's go back here to the strike price. So let's see where this volume's coming in, okay? So we have a ton of volume at 25K. If we go over to, let's just say 27,000, all right? You have 13,000 Bitcoin to the call side and 6,800 to the put side. So if we're under 20, let's say we're between 26 and 27K, you're looking at 7,500 Bitcoin. We're not going to count that. And 6,800 Bitcoin. So 75, so let's call it 15,000 Bitcoin. If we land between 26 and 27K, that's going to be decent, right? They're not under. They might have an option to exercise their contract. But if it's over, they're done. That contract is going to expire without value. So you don't do anything. You lose your money, and all that Bitcoin goes back. Now, if we're under 25K, then we got some problems. If we're over 30K, we're going to see shorts get absolutely destroyed. And then I think we can see a $34,000, $35,000 Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, so I got I want to pull up a couple things. So first is a weekly numbers, right? So 2023, we've had 13 weeks, and out of those 13 weeks, we had 6 weeks. Okay, so more than half of our weeks have been in the green with a massive 26% weekly move to the upside happening just 2 weeks ago. If we move over to the quarterly, you can see here, we haven't had a quarter one, or even a quarterly period this big since Q1 of 2021. We all know that was kind of the height of the bull market, you can say. Almost 70% we're closing in on. Of course, this ends. So quarter one ends tomorrow, right? March 31st. So 67% in 3 months. In a financial climate that the Fed has been hiking rates, they're siphoning money out of the economy. Unemployment, people are getting laid off. Assets are bleeding. Gold hasn't moved. The stock market's been more down than up. And here we have Bitcoin up almost 70% in 3 months. What are your thoughts on that, Rob?
I think we're shaping up for this 35K. I know our video thumbnail, our picture that we show before you click on our video, said 30,000.
Is that what a thumbnail is?
People don't know what thumbnails are.
Wow.
I was with a group of people and I was like, yeah, I'm making a thumbnail. And they were like looking at my fingers. I'm like, so, I swear to God, I'm like, it's the video picture. And they're like, oh. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, bullish. Your boy bullish. Rocco.
Like, I wonder if, let's just say you've never seen this show, and as soon as you click, you see that. What do you do? Do you automatically?
I would follow it up with a random hammer and a like sign
and a picture of a baboon.
What are you doing? Have you hit the like button? If not, I'm going to hit you. Thank you. All right. So,
what is wrong with you today?
I don't know, man. Honestly. So, here's the thing. I'm telling you, we are getting ready for takeoff. People, wake up. Bitcoin's moment of truth is here. It is time. Give me the mic. Already have one. All right. So look, Bitcoin's time is here, right? You got the banks that collapse. I'm over here hanging out with people last night, and they're over here talking about $1. I told you. They were talking about $1. They were over there talking about the dollar. They were talking about inflation. And your boy, I'm the crazy crypto guy. I walk up and I'm like, ha, look at y'all. Y'all over here talking about Bitcoin worthless. Look at the value. Look at your value of your dollar now, huh? That's right. Your boy been building a bomb shelter. And now all of a sudden, you see the dookie hitting the fan and you want to come over here and hide in my bomb shelter, eat my canned food. Nah. Nope. I'm protected. Good luck running for the exits. when the entire room is trying to squeeze through a door. Good luck getting your money out of the bank when everyone's trying to get the money out of the bank. Good luck getting Bitcoin at a decent price when everyone's FOMOing in. Not just you, institutions, venture capital, governments, nation states. Good luck.
What about the baboons?
And the baboons.
That's right.
That's right, baby.
While we're on Bitcoin, before we move on to altcoin, I want to share this chart. So I drew this bullish pennant 2 days ago, and we broke above it, and we are doing exactly what we want to see when you break out of a pattern, which is retest this trend line here. So what are we going to look at if we do retest it, or if we do break out? So if you take this move, or the length of this pole here, you're looking at about 36K. But what I like to do is I like to use this fib tool here. So we draw top to bottom, and then where we bottomed at. And we take a look at the 618 level, right? That gives us $32,264. Which I think is very, very feasible. And guys, of course, this is on the daily chart. Now, when was the last time we hit 32K? We hit 32K. We consolidated around the 32K area here. This was back in May of last year. You can see here we kind of formed a double top here at 32K. I do think, and if we take a look at the volume profile here.
All right, I want to ask the chat. Chat, do we hit 30,000 by Friday? I want to know. Put a 1 in the chat. We hit 30K Bitcoin by Friday. Put a 2 in the chat if that's a ain't gonna happen. What do you think? You think 1 or 2, bro? One is gonna happen. Gonna hit 30K. 2 is a not
by
gonna hit
when?
30. By Friday.
Yes. Oh, Friday? No.
By Friday?
By
No.
Sunday. We're gonna need some time.
You don't think with all those options expiring?
Possibly. But we're gonna need some time, man.
It's 2 days from now.
Technically,
We
it's
were
tomorrow.
at 29,000.
Technically, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 31st.
Earlier this morning, we were at 29,000. I'm just saying.
We're like knocking on the door, man, and we're gonna get tired of knocking, and we're eventually just gonna grab that. What is that thing called? The SWAT team uses
a lot of
big,
twos in the chat, man. Y'all hating, man.
Wow.
My boy, unforgettable name, and my boy Kenneth City. They agree with me.
Yeah, tomorrow. I don't know about tomorrow, man. Give me to the end of the week. I need to the end of the week.
I don't know. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
That is by tomorrow. Okay.
End of the week. We're changing
by tomorrow. Yes, I do stream Sundays. Yeah, for Big Rob's Rant and Ramble, where we talk little crypto and more nonsense. But
Yeah, so on Sunday,
very entertaining, though.
you can go back and see who's the same.
Battering ram. That's what it's called. Thank you, Jimmy. Battering ram. We're eventually going to battering ram our way through 30K, and this is Bitcoin on the weekly. Just going to take a look. We're in our equilibrium zone. We don't really make any trades here. But what's interesting is the last 2 weekly candles, we're seeing spinning tops, or you can call them dojis. So this is uncertainty in the market on the more macro time frame. So I don't know, man. Is this options thing by tomorrow, is it going to give it that nudge? If it does, and we see this weekly candle go to 30K, we're still going to be well in. For us to break out of this cloud by this month, or sorry, by this week, you're looking at getting Bitcoin to 43,400, which I don't think is going to happen, right? But as we see the cloud starts to come back down here, you're looking at May, right? This is end of May, but more realistically, I would say probably June-ish, right? We break out of this cloud, which would be, and stay above it, which would be 32K. If you're looking at May, beginning mid to end of May, you're looking at 34K. If you're looking at very beginning of May, end of April, 37K. And then, of course, over 40K if you want to talk about over the next 4 weeks or so. That's been my thing. A lot of people have different answers, and maybe this isn't the right answer, but for me to say we're in a bull market in the uptrend, I want to see price trade above the cloud. I want to see the cloud be green, and I want to see support made on top of this upper cloud band. Until that happens, this is, to me, a bear market rally. And so, like I said, I could be wrong. A couple other Bitcoin metrics I wanted to take a look at. So this is Bitcoin addresses that hold 0.1, 1, so whole coiners, and then 1,000. You can call them shrimps, whole coiners, and whales, okay? if we take a look here, over the last, let's call it 2 years or 3 years, April of 2020, we've seen the mega whales start dumping. We did see a nice little push to the upside back here in February of last year, but we've been downtrending since then. But what has not been downtrending is essentially retail, right? In blue, you have Bitcoin addresses with a balance of at least 0.1. And in green, you have the whole corners. And these are both at all-time highs. And so are we seeing a narrative push? Well, let me ask you your thoughts on this, Robin. What are your thoughts on this? Is this surprising to see? Wouldn't you figure we'd see more whales accumulating Bitcoin? Because you figure if you got enough money to have 1,000 Bitcoin in a wallet address, you're going to know, you're going to be plugged in with the banking system. You're going to know what's going on. Well, what are your thoughts on that narrative there?
I don't know. I just think there's so many different factors that play into these wallets. And I'm always in the camp that the whale wallets are always going to diversify. I know that's not essentially what's going on here, but I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan of these metrics, but...
You're not a big fan of the metrics?
No, not of wallet addresses. I really am not.
What about this metric?
Which one?
Bitcoin supply last active.
Bitcoin supply last active?
Last active. When they move
well, these do follow the cycles as well. So you're gonna get more activity. You're gonna get longer holds during the bear market because people have less incentive to sell. So most of the people exit when the market downturns and they freak out and they panic sell. And then whoever's left at that point, they're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna hodl anyways. I'm not gonna sell at a loss. I don't really care. And then people are gonna take profits during the next bull run. And so if you go back on that chart and you look to all the cycles, you're going to see that the people that are holding for longer than 2 years is going to go up during a bear market, down during a bull market because people are going to be taking profits.
We're at all-time highs for all four. See if I can make this bigger. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, all at all-time highs. So people are buying Bitcoin, they're taking them off exchanges, and they're hodling.
Also, Dixie Flatline, 5 gifted memberships.
Damn.
My dude.
They ain't waiting for Jimmy no more. Thank you to all of you who support this channel. We appreciate you. And then finally, I have Bitcoin net realized profit and loss. So we are at a high we haven't seen since... What is this? This was since November of last year. So we have currently, and I'm going to zoom in a little more here, over $320 million. $320 million we're in the green in Bitcoin. And this is pretty good. And we hit 542 million. This was March 27th. And so people are in profit, but people are not cashing out, which is good. That's all I got for Bitcoin. Take a look at what the rest of the markets are doing, and then we'll get into some articles. Robin.
Okay. So taking a look, we do have on the broader markets, Ethereum's been flirting with, what was it? 1800. And so pivotal moment here for Ethereum's price action. Are we going to get to 2000? And so we were right at 1800 for quite some time. It's been, what is it like? So been a while since we've been at 1800. So last time we were at 1800 was back in August of 2022. So 5 months, 6 months ago almost. Yeah. So it's been a while. Technically we hit it a week ago, but so in this range, been a while since we traded at or above 18K. So, you know, this is obviously the next resistance. Are we going to get to 2000? That's what I want to know. And then some of the biggest gainers to the day, you have 1 inch up 10%. Arbitrum up 9%.
Damn, you wouldn't buy Arbitrum at $1. You'd be up 33% right now.
Yeah, but the thing is you don't know where it's going to settle at.
Looks
The
like
risk,
a dollar?
the risk versus reward is just not there.
Hmm.
What are you saying about? Yeah.
I disagree.
So you think you have a high probability of buying this and it going to $2?
There's a good chance.
No, I think you have a higher probability of it. If you bought this at $1, I think it's more likely, in my opinion, to go to 50 cents before it is $2.
Agree to disagree.
And then
Disagree to agree.
I mean, it's a governance token. It doesn't do anything.
It governs.
And so at some point, it's going to fade just like all the other governance tokens have.
Oh yeah, all the
You
governance tokens are
remember
faded,
when
huh?
remember
Uniswap faded?
you remember when Uniswap was up in the top 10? Let's see. Where's
Oh, it's
Uniswap?
right there. No, you passed it.
Did it?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Number
yeah,
20.
right there, number 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, take one. 3.3 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you would have bought this at any point in time during the bear market, you would just be losing money over and over and over again.
Yeah, what about when you first came out?
When it first came out, look. First came out at $3. Back to $5. So
You'd still be up. So anyways, my point. Oh man, this is great. Yeah, Dixie Flyland said 85 people not hitting the like. Why? Why? I bet you it's Robin. You don't like Robin. It's okay. I'm here for you. All right. So we talk about 30K, right? That was the theme of today's show. A couple articles, and one is from Benjamin Cowan, the macro analyst, big Bitcoin guy. I don't know if he's a maxi, possibly a maxi. But the first one is from the block. Bitcoin price steady above 28K on course for best quarter since 2021. We already showed you this. Bitcoin continues to trade above 28K while the broader crypto market is trending lower. Crypto trading firm QCP Digital noted that Bitcoin is heading for its best quarterly performance since Q1 of 2021. The effect of the CFTC civil suit against Binance appears to have been largely brushed aside, which leads me to this next article. Crypto analyst Benjamin Cowan warns Bitcoin primed for one more scare. Here is target. Analyst Benjamin Cowan believes Bitcoin could crash by double digits from current levels despite staging a significant rally from the 2022 lows. He says, quote, think there is a serious case to be made of a potential double bottom like we had back in 2015. So I think you could see something like that. I also think you could see potentially a slightly lower low, potentially a few $1,000s below the prior low. I would be looking toward a potential retest of the prior lows, and depending on how bad a theoretical recession is, you could in fact see a new low. But do I think the max downside is likely going to only be a few $1,000s below the current low? So if the Binance thing, right, if the largest exchange in crypto is being accused of what they were being accused of doing, doesn't push Bitcoin down, what could possibly, that Benjamin Cowan's talking about, what could possibly be that scare that could push the crypto markets lower?
I think it's just the overall general markets. I think that, there's been a lot of talks of us pushing into a recession, deeper recession. And if there is essentially no banking crisis and the US markets, the global markets, and also risk on stocks, particularly like the NASDAQ index fund as an example, of these see new lows that we haven't seen since 2022. I remember when the S&P 500 bottomed out. If we were to go lower than those levels and the banking is still at the same position and there's no relief from the Fed as far as interest rates, that's it right there, man. I mean, that's what pulled those market conditions is what pulled Bitcoin down to its low of 16,000. So what would pull Bitcoin down to those similar levels or even more would be more of what we saw earlier at the end of last year. And honestly, that's the direction we're going, right? Inflation is not coming down. We're still over 6%. The interest rates that the Fed keeps introducing is not doing the job. It's not. And I think that perhaps we need to reassess this thesis that you simply increase interest rates and you fix inflation. Now, can it address inflation? Can it affect the markets and spending? Sure, it does. But it doesn't fix the underlying problem, which was, how did we get here? Well, we printed a shit ton of money.
Let me ask you this question. There's a reason I'm asking. If there's a war, right, global war, what do you think?
What kind of war? Because you have two wars. Or there's like 3 wars now, potentially. So you have traditional war, right? Invading countries, boots on the ground. You have a financial war where you threaten sanctions and now you're scaring everybody out of your monetary system. Financial war,
cyber war.
So, well, okay, I guess you can have a cyber war, but I feel like financial war usually is the cyber war is kind of how you fight this.
I'm talking launching missiles and
Yeah, but here's a financial war. I'm telling you, that's a real thing, man. That's a real thing.
But that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And look what's happening to Bitcoin.
And now we're seeing a divide in the same way that you had a global war before, but with boots on the ground, where you had, hey, it's the U.S. and its allies or fighting against the Nazis and whoever else. That has been how you had divides, people taking sides in the past, nations. What we have now is we have the UN and the G7 and all this. They're taking sides and everyone's siding with the U.S. And now you have a split. Now you have Africa and Latin America and China all forming an alliance financially to fight against the war that is the economic superpower of the U.S.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because the White House sent out a letter telling every American who is traveling or living in Russia to get out immediately. So
it's not no war there.
I'm just saying.
Well, here's the thing. We saw what happened with Brittany Griner, and I'm just saying that, like, right now, Russia is going to take whatever political edge it can by taking prisoners, by locking American citizens up, especially if you're high profile or somebody of clout or a big name, because they know they can get a lot in return for trying to get the release of that person. Now, I don't think that, you're American, you should get out of Russia for the simple fact that the whole place is about to be bombed. I'm not saying, I don't think that's the narrative, but I'm just saying that they're like, hey, tensions between Russia and the U.S. is reaching a breaking point. And what's going to end up happening is the civilians that are American citizens that are in Russia might be used as a chess piece when it comes to the ongoing conflict, which is also the financial war that we're currently seeing. And then also there's a third war. And it's going to be the war that we talk about. It's the arms race for crypto. Also, it's an arms race for Bitcoin mining, right? And who has the hash rate, who has the Bitcoin, controls the network, or has more hedge against the fall of the dollar and the rise of Bitcoin. Whether or not you believe that's going to happen, if you were to invest in the network, either through mining or through acquisition of Bitcoin, you have a hedge against that. And even if you don't believe it's going to happen, the same way you don't believe your house is going to catch on fire, you still go out and buy insurance, right? You're like, hey, I got smoke detectors. I don't do any deep fried turkeys. My house is fine. But you get insurance anyways. Here's the thing. Maybe U.S. or maybe these nation states, they're going to have arms race. I'm like, hey, man, our currency is strong, but we need to just hold some Bitcoin just in case. Anyways.
Well, the U.S. is the largest total of Bitcoin in the world.
Yeah, they are, man. They are. They're secretly getting up there. There was the Senate Committee on Business and Commerce, which that was, I think, this morning. Anyways, they have an interesting panel there talking about Bitcoin. I wanted to pull this up. This is some last minute stuff here. So take a look.
My name is Pierre Rochard. I'm the Vice President of Research at Riot Platforms, the the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miner in the United States, with our facility in Milam County, close to Rockdale. I'm a first-generation immigrant, and I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a bachelor and master accounting degree. Thank you, Senator Kolkhorst, for your work on demand response issues. I believe that the witnesses here have adequately represented our views on demand response. I would just add that there is already a 60% limit to prevent concentration in demand response programs, and that this bill would override ERCOT's long-term study on large flexible loads. With regards to Chapter 312, temporary county tax abatements, these abatements have helped attract Bitcoin miners to Texas, and they've created hundreds of rural jobs. Bitcoin miners are the #1 employer in Rockdale. Bitcoin miners are also the #1 taxpayer to Rockdale ISD. Bitcoin mining is good for rural education. Milam County has record sales tax revenue thanks to Bitcoin miners. Even if you are skeptical of Bitcoin, these abatements have been highly effective at revitalizing rural communities. It is also in our national security interest to mine more Bitcoin here in the United States and take market share away from foreign adversaries like Russia and China. We should not add unnecessary regulatory burdens or raise taxes on this strategic and innovative industry. For these reasons, I recommend to vote against SB 1751. Bitcoin is freedom money. It empowers people so that they can earn, save, and spend their money without relying on or trusting government central banks. Thank you.
Mr. Richard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren's going to hear that and say, yeah, that sounds really good.
What was that? SP, whatever
Bill.
whatever that bill was. Let's not tax and let's not unfairly tax and also regulate and restrict Bitcoin mining. Let's embrace it. Here's the thing. We just gave all these tax breaks to these chips to make semiconductors, to bring business here. They gave companies money to build it, right?
To build factories, yeah.
To build factories. They had the Inflation Reduction Act where they gave companies trillions of dollars.
Brought inflation down.
Yeah, definitely not inflation reduction, but that's a whole other story. So Inflation Reduction Act, they gave trillions of dollars to companies to build the infrastructure for the next 20 years, right? To build the chips. Why can't we do the same with crypto, right? Why can't we do the same with blockchain? Why can't we invest in this technology?
Because
later on it'll pay it off.
But they see it as a direct threat to their government and to their money. That's
but
why.
At some point,
at that point, it's gonna be too late.
Same thing that's happening with the semiconductors, where all the semiconductors are made in Taiwan, and you see that there's a global issue arising that if China were to invade Taiwan, the supply of semiconductor chips essentially would be cut off and or controlled by the Chinese government. And then all of our technology would fall behind.
The worst thing ever.
And so, but that's a realistic possibility with a decent % chance of it actually coming to be, right? I mean, if you followed this, you got the Chinese, one of the head of the Chinese state, he was in an interview and they're like, well, the president of Taiwan, he was like, Taiwan doesn't have a president.
Yeah, because they consider it part of China.
He was like, there's no real government. Yeah. So anyways, that's where we're at there. And we're going to see a situation where crypto is going to leave and all of a sudden we're going to be like, we ain't got no piece of this pie, man. This ain't looking good, man. Same, bro.
You know, and the funny thing is, these Bitcoin miners and the companies, they have and would continue to spend the money to build the infrastructure, to build the power grid, to stabilize that, to build the infrastructure for energy, and maybe, just maybe, out of that innovation and continuing to maximize profits and bring their break-even cost basis down for mining their Bitcoin, we might stumble across a new form of energy or something more efficient than what you're worried about with the whole carbon emissions. But no, you chose to do the opposite and you chose to drive him out of this country. So, no good. And here's another reason I asked you about the war thing is, you can't say it's off the table. I mean, Rocco shared this with me. So this is a bullion place. So they sell precious metals, a historic quarter. So people are flocking to hard money assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin. They had significant growth throughout the entire Q1 of 2023, so much so that they are behind on orders, and they're putting a minimum limit of $500, and they're 4 days behind delivering these. So people are worried. People are flocking to hard money asset. But the problem is, and I've sat there and I've talked to my friends about this, is if you want to get out of the dollar, I ask them this. All right. And these are not necessarily crypto, pro Bitcoin, pro crypto people. I'm like, all right, if you believe you have all your money in US dollar, right? Yes. If you believe the US dollar has a chance of collapsing, where are you putting your money? Gold and silver. Okay. Well, what if the entire US economy crashes and you have to move? What are you going to do with all that gold and silver? I'm going to take it with me. I'm like, yeah? You're going to put it on a plane and take it with you and probably A, have to pay a crap load of taxes on it. B, possibly it gets lost. You really want to lug around kilos of gold or silver across borders to another country? No. What's the other option? Like,
we're not gonna flee. People aren't gonna.
I'm just
not gonna
saying,
have.
if
Now,
you're
other countries, sure. The U.S. no. Like I had the same conversation with somebody. I'm like, look, man, just protect yourself for a banking collapse if it's coming. If you don't want to go into crypto, then buy some commodities, buy gold, buy silver. Honestly, like. The thing is it's not like the government's going to shut down. All of a sudden, we're going to burn down the streets. Could it happen? Sure, I guess, possibly. Why not? I'm not completely writing it off.
Happening in France right now.
But
happening in
it's
Israel.
happened in France time and time again. But those French people don't leave. They just make baguettes and they cut people's heads off. They put a new Congress or Parliament in, whatever the hell they got. They got Parliament over there, and then that's it, bro. Like, I'm just saying the French, they don't leave, man. They don't leave. And yeah, the state US ain't gonna leave either, man. These people that live in the Midwest and the trailer parks, they don't have an engine on those wheels, bro. Those double wides, you can't move them. And so they ain't going nowhere. They gonna stay. And so at some point the banking thing is gonna collapse. And what's gonna happen? Something else is gonna get rebuilt. Probably going to have CBDCs at the forefront. Well, all I'm saying is that during this volatility, during this big collapse, you're going to lose a ton of your value in your dollar. And so just get out of that. If you don't want to use crypto, which, I mean, obviously, we're all in on crypto here. We're all in. And so we support it. We're trying to beat the drum. But if you're arrogant and you just don't want to get into crypto, at least get out of the dollar, man. At least until the storm passes. The next 18 months, you might wanna not keep a lot of money in cash in the bank. That's all I'm saying.
Crypto Reaper said, buy gold chains, you can wear them. Interesting. So Robin, why don't you butcher people's names
if you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. I didn't see a lot of new people here. We do got Blockchain Monkeys, also Just Making Dreams here, and then Crypto Night as well. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Where are all the crypto body parts at? Where's crypto neck? Where's crypto leg? Where's crypto torso? Remember those guys?
Yeah,
crypto muscle?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Crypto never mind. So this is kind of interesting. Okay. It's not really crypto, but it's kind of our space, I guess. AI. Elon Musk and tech execs call for a pause on AI development. I know you're a big AI guy. I'm not necessarily as big as you are. I understand it,
Dude,
but I don't infatuate over it like you do.
AI, have you not realized that in the span of the last 6 months, AI has gone from ChatGPT 3 to 4. And in just those 6 months, you went from 10% from 10%, scoring 10 on the lower 10 percentile of the, what are you laughing at?
Cameron Mitchell said, I invest in rocks like JP Morgan.
That's right. So ChatGPT, it went from the bottom 10 percentile of the bar exam to the top 90%. So just in 6 months. And what's happening is that these AI softwares, each upgrade, so ChatGPT 3 is teaching ChatGPT 4. And then 4 is going to teach 5. And then 5 is going to teach 6.
AI is teaching other AI?
Yeah, they're building off of each other.
Holy shit.
And so it's getting exponentially smarter every
upgrade.
And also, you got to think, it's not just upgrade. When these things plug into the internet, this is a generative AI. So what happens is it keeps stacking knowledge on it. So it's like a kid in elementary school, but instead of it taking 20 years for them to go through, or say 15 years of schooling to grow up and learn, it's doing it in 15 minutes. And so if you've looked at any of these AI, a good example would be, have you ever seen like those videos with the AI robots trying to learn how to walk?
Yeah.
And it's just like on the floor, just like moving his legs. And then after about a couple hours, it learns how to walk. The same thing. Now you're just taking something, it learns how to read and learns how to code, and then it's just learning more and more. And at some point, it's gonna pass human intelligence. And some can argue that it's already there. And so if you have a computer that at this moment, and it's only been out for like 6 months, is smarter than the smartest person on the planet.
It's passing bar exams.
And then you think about this. Where's it going to be at 6 years from now? I'm not saying that we should stop it, because I think the genie's out of the bottle. I think here's the thing. There's so much money to be made there because it's the next iteration of Google, right? It's the next virtual assistant. So there's so much money to be made there that Congress, nobody's going to want to stop it. Because you got the likes of Microsoft and Google, every big company out there, think of the Fortune 500 companies. How many of them are tech? How many of them are building AI? Everybody's got their own AI model. So nobody's going to try to stop that. So imagine if you're a congressman and you're like, hey, let's slow this thing down. Is he going to get any support from his from the people that lobby? Right? Because who lobbies? Big tech, big pharma. Neither one of them are going to support.
Part of big tech saying we should pause it.
Yeah, just the richest man in the world who doesn't care. No. Elon Musk. And I know they
Apple
have a
co-founder.
I know there's a lot of, and I'm just saying, man.
And a host of AI CEOs, CTOs, and researchers. It wasn't just Elon.
No.
2,600 people.
Yeah, those names that got written on there, anybody could have typed a name in. And so they realized that some of the names that were on there were just people just writing in CEOs' names. The guy's name for, what's the guy that created ChatGPT, the CEO? He is on there. And then he was like, yo, I didn't sign this. Really? And so...
You sure about that?
Yeah. And so the CEO, I follow all this AI stuff. I watch it every morning. I'm always very interested in this. I think that this is the biggest change to human civilization
ever.
Bigger than blockchain. Blockchain is just the digital movement of value, particularly money, over internet and in a decentralized way. The same way that we have, we've moved, we moved voice calls. Obviously you're not doing long distance phone calls anymore, right? You don't have AT&T doing international phone calls, right? It's done over the internet. You have Skype, right? And then the same thing with the internet in itself. So these base functionalities, so moving data, that's all free, right? Same thing with calling. That's all free. And now you're getting into the monetary system, which is gonna transact in a decentralized kind of free way with the free market, on the same way that we've seen other emerging technologies transition to the internet.
You said free a lot.
Yeah.
You're right.
No. So you say Terminator is real then?
You know what I was thinking?
And I'm telling you, this AI thing, man, it's gonna open your eyes to what is happening. All I'm saying. And then I was listening to Charles Hoskins, and he had a good take on this stuff too. And think about it, quantum computer is coming. And so interesting thing that he said that I took away was these AI models are only as good as the computers that run them, right? Because what they're doing is they're sourcing information. And so Microsoft has thrown billions of dollars at OpenAI, ChatGPT, because they need a lot of computing power. And so it's only as good as how much computing power you throw at it. So let's just say we get quantum computer, which is coming. So you have basically a supercomputer that can break Satoshi's code eventually, right? Something that can process an unfathomable amount of transactions. And
we've had this question about private keys.
And then you throw an AI model and you give it that. You give it a ungodly amount of supercomputer processing that it can draw from every piece of information ever created. And then you give it years to learn and to keep developing. We're very quickly moving into. No, I'm not. We're in a pivotal moment. It's like discovering nuclear energy, right?
I'm moving to Mars, man.
Look, it's like discovering nuclear energy. You can say this is the end of the world, or hey, this is the world's most efficient green energy we've ever created. Right? We can harness it and power nuclear subs and aircraft carriers, entire cities that float in the ocean, power them without a single drop of gasoline, or we can power cities with a power plant, or we can eradicate ourselves.
Yeah, we're going to Mars.
Sure. And that's where we're at. We're AI. We can either prop our civilization up and travel out in the stars and take this thing to the whole next level, or we're gonna be Terminator, bro. And your boy we're gonna be hiding in Las Vegas, all burnt down, being chased by robots.
Or you can go back in time and stop Elizabeth Warren.
I want to give a special shout out to my paisa, Gianluca Cisari. Already there. Welcome to the future.
And also, Jimmy gifted 10 memberships.
The hype man himself.
My boy.
He's back. Well, just to kind of to finish up on this article here. So I haven't. Robin said that these names are thrown on there. I'm going to believe him.
Elon Musk came out and said that he is on this though.
He is, okay. All right. But here's a statement. Advanced AI could represent a profound change in the history of life on Earth and should be planned for and managed with commensurate care and resources. Unfortunately, this level of planning and management is not happening, and they've caused for a 6-month pause. What's not being caused for a 6-month pause is money flowing into AI crypto projects as Fetch.ai raises $40 million to deploy decentralized machine learning. I talked about Fetch.ai. One of my live streams. Artificial intelligence focused crypto protocol Fetch.ai has raised $40 million from market maker and investment firm DWF Labs. Fetch will use the investment to deploy decentralized machine learning, autonomous agents, and network infrastructure on its platform. Fetch AI deploys bits of code it refers to as autonomous economic agents, which create connections between a network of independent parties and with real-world systems and devices. Purpose of agents is to, quote, generate economic value for its owner, be it through acquiring knowledge, sharing predictions, or conducting trades. Like, I don't even think I have a brain big enough to fathom exactly what AI, and even in the crypto space AI, what it's going to take over, what it's going to make better, what it's going to make worse, what jobs are going to get eradicated.
All jobs are going to be affected. All jobs. Every job. Hard labor might not. Hard like construction workers, things like that. And
Why?
that
If
nature.
you can precisely, like, let's say someone who lays brick, right? If robots can walk and talk and this and that, and you can.
I'm just saying, eventually everything will be impacted, but I think the last.
Now, what's the point of having a human being?
The last area to be impacted is going to be the labor sector, but
So what
publishers,
then why are we here?
traders.
Why are we alive then?
Here's the thing: you need somebody to build the machines.
Okay, you need what?
We're going to be the slaves to the machines.
100,000 people to build machines. Okay, what else?
Is it any different than what we live at right now?
Yeah, it is.
We're having a video podcast on how to digitize money, and then there's other people that are going to work all day building semiconductors to power the machines. There's people going to work all day that are mining the silicon to use those, and so. If you're saying, why are we alive? Maybe you need to question what's going on, because what you're questioning here in the future is already here. We're already slaves to the society that we're building.
In My Hero brings up a good point. I think the last people to be replaced are going to be strippers.
Is it strippers? Yeah. No, they've already been replaced. These deep fakes.
So you just throw like nuts and bolts at them?
No, I'm saying is that you're gonna have
instead of money, throw a wrench and
no the strippers.
pliers.
I'm telling you, man, they're gonna be
Fix yourself,
they're gonna be full on autonomous robots, and next thing you know, they're gonna have that needle and they're gonna slide it through your ear and kill you, bro.
I don't even want to think about this, bro.
Hey, it's a scary world we live in, man.
That's why I'm going out tonight.
Yeah, these deep fakes, man. I'm telling you, you don't even know what's real anymore. Like.
Are you real?
I am real.
Wow.
But here's the thing.
Let me make sure. Let me throw this.
But here's the thing. At some point within the next couple years, someone can deep fake me and have me say whatever. They could do it right now if they wanted to. I'm just not that popular, so I'm not going to be out there. But I'm just saying that, like, Elon Musk, there's enough video content of Elon Musk. I guess there's enough video content of us that they can deep fake him to say whatever he wants. Right? What you laughing at now?
Blade Runner is a nice movie.
I'm not going to read that, but
watch something futuristic.
Read Ivalov's comment. Okay, well, you read that comment. I'm going to go to Gary Gensler and how he's panhandling, begging for money. Says, I need money. Please help me. He wants $2.4 billion in funding to chase down crypto misconduct. So Gary, apparently all this money he's gotten from Kim Kardashian and Kanye West and Library and this guy and that guy and Kraken is not enough. We need another $2.4 billion. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary "The Gun" Gensler has thrown his support behind U.S. President Joe Biden's request to allocate a record $2.4 billion in funding for the regulator, highlighting the ongoing need to crack down on misconduct in the cryptocurrency industry. They quote from "The Gun," rapid technological innovation in the financial markets has led to misconduct in emerging and new areas, not least in the crypto space. Addressing this requires new tools, expertise, and resources, aka a lot of money. The additional funding would allow the SEC to hire 170 additional staff. As the cop on the beat, we must be able to meet the match of bad actors. Thus, it makes sense for the SEC to grow along with the expansion and increased complexity in the capital markets.
It was a little out of balance. Two and a half billion.
Hold on, man. I could swear that we're actually not trying to expand the crypto market here. We're trying to decrease it. So if you're trying to eradicate crypto companies from the U.S., why would you need more people to go after those people that you're trying to get rid of, right?
I've worked for some companies that weren't even $1 million, right? Some franchises had over 100 employees. I'm just saying that $2.5 billion, if that all you get is 170 employees, there's some mismanagement going on there, bro, right?
Well, no, they need money to go after other.
But I'm saying, if $2.5 billion only gets you 170 employees,
but you're assuming that all that money is only going to.
I'm not assuming all that money goes there. I'm just assuming that 170 people ain't enough.
Literally,
right?
what you're saying.
I'm saying that, like, if you're gonna if you came up to me and were like, look, man, I need to borrow $2.5 billion. I got 100 people to hire. I'd be like, what? Like, at least lie to me and say you're gonna hire 1,000 people and then go spend it elsewhere. But don't come up to me and say I'm hiring 100 people. I need $2.5 billion. That don't make sense.
He doesn't need to lie. He's gonna get the money. And listen to this part. This is funny.
Wouldn't you think that it would be easier for them to get money if they were properly regulating the industry?
No, because Joe Biden doesn't care. He's the one who came up with the idea. Joe Biden's the one that says we need to give more money to the SEC, and Gary's like, yeah, we need 2.4.
Gary's gonna go testify on the 26th.
Yes,
or 16th or 26th. Something
in a couple weeks. Next month. Yeah, that's going to be interesting because it's all going to be on digital asset and him regulating it. But here's the interesting part. According to Gary, the regulator received more than 35,000 separate tips, complaints, and referrals from whistleblowers and others in fiscal year 2022. I wonder, we know Custodia Bank Caitlin Long was one of those. We know there was April 18th is when he testified.
We're going to be in Atlanta for that one.
That's Russia. And we know people blew the whistle on FTX. 35,000 separate tips. How many of those were for FTX? He didn't do anything about it. So are you now saying, Gary, that you didn't have enough people to listen to all those whistleblower tips? Maybe what you should have done is, if you're getting 10 complaints for this and 10 for that, but 500 for one thing, maybe you should, look into that one thing, which was probably FTX. So that's all I got to say. Gary needs to go, man. Gary Gensler needs to either retire, get fired, or, the mafia. Right, Rocco? You got any connections to the mafia still or no?
No, I'm just going to invite him for dinner.
Honey, grab the floss.
Doesn't grab it for dinner, just...
That's it. That's it. That's the most gangster thing I've ever heard. No, I'm just going to invite him to dinner. Just leave it at that. Let your mind wander. Okay. Let's move on from Gary, who's trying to hinder crypto adoption, to a place that is trying to do the opposite, which is bring crypto adoption to their country, Okay, real quick. And I'm going to sound like an idiot asking this question. But I know Hong Kong's in China, but they're their own government, right?
They're not in.
They're Chinese now. I used to be until 2002 under.
So Hong Kong
England.
is not a country.
Okay. Hong Kong was in a very similar situation that Taiwan was, and so they had split off. They were an English colony, just outside of China, but with close proximity. And then when they got their own freedom and they broke away from England, they had their own independence, and then they got absorbed into China via some bullying, I guess you could say. And then they are still independent. Think of it kind of like Puerto Rico, where they
Virgin Island
are a not exactly the same, but I'm just trying to give you a comparison.
Okay.
So they share a lot of financial and also laws together.
They're governed by the greater Chinese,
but they're their own independent state.
Okay.
So but be careful, because people in Hong Kong take offense if you say they're Chinese.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to offend anyone.
Yeah, they've been free.
I'm actually trying to defend people in Hong Kong.
They were like 50 years they were by themselves. I mean, they were like the economy, and then they went back to under the Chinese government.
Pat Brett said England had 100 lease and gave it back to China. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, Hong Kong is doing the opposite of what the U.S. is doing. They're actually spending money to bring crypto to their city, to their nation, to their state. Hong Kong is ramping up its efforts to become a regional fintech hub with a new funding aiming to raise $100 million this year to invest in digital assets.
The chat was saying they handed it back after a 100-year lease. So, yeah. So something like that. But they're still independent. So,
rumor rumor is this 100 million that they're investing in crypto digital assets. I think they're putting half of that in SHIB and about 20% in Dogecoin. I could be wrong. According to a report by Bloomberg, I'm joking, of course. The fund will target early stage and developing ventures, particularly tech companies with ties to China transitioning into Web3. A number of investors in Hong Kong are reportedly interested in participating in the digital economy, in addition to some Chinese family offices investing in Australia and Singapore, which are looking to get involved. Would you ever move to Hong Kong, Robin?
I would not at the top of the list of places I would go, but I don't know. It is the deemed a financial capital of the Far East. So
Rokyoshi said he stopped working and looked at the screen when I said Doge. Shit. I was kidding, of course. That was a joke. That was not a joke. It's like kind of heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking because when you study this stuff, you know what crypto can do. And in a country where you live in, right? Let's say it's the greatest country on the planet. We know a lot. Like my family immigrated here. My dad gave up a lot to be in this country, and there was a reason for that. And when you're seeing it in real time start to fall by the wayside and not see what obviously other countries and governments are seeing, it's freaking sad, man. Very, very sad. Because crypto is going to happen regardless of whether Gary Gensler wants to regulate everything or not, whether Joe Biden tries to shut everything down or not. Crypto will live on, right? It has the internet. Only way you shut crypto off is shut the internet off, which is not going to happen. So we're living in a country that's going to fall behind the rest of the world and see that innovation bring their country into new light. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. There was an article from Yahoo Finance about El Salvador, how they were able to pay all their debt back and prosper as a country, and tourism is up, and their economic conditions are getting better. Crime is going down. Like, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I think we're done.
mm-hmm.
We're done?
We did.
We're done. All right. Guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're new here. If you are new here, say hello. We will say hello back on your way out. Also, go follow us on Soch. And by Soch, I mean social media. Let me pull up our Twitter so you guys can see. So this is our Twitter page at Sin City Crypto 1. And yes, we did pay for the blue check mark. We do post a lot more on Twitter than we do on Instagram and whatnot. But we do other short form content. We do shorts on YouTube. We cross post those to all of our social media platforms. So make sure you're following us as well. Check out all the videos we put out, and make sure you have notification bell on, because we got random videos coming out here in the next couple of weeks, and you're going to want to watch them. You're going to want to know when they come out. How do you know? By picking the notification. Also, go pick up some merch, not just Sin City merch, but crypto merch in general. If you're a whale member, you do get 10% off. By the way, if you're a whale member, I think there's a couple people, Rocco, we got to get them their we got to get them their code.
I think they got
so, but they're in the Discord whale group. We'll connect with you guys, and we'll make sure you get your 10% off coupon. And
we do have Kello Crypto. Says hello, Kello. We also have V the Artist, Jason Caffrey, Butterball, Nikki P Crypto, Auntie the Great. We also have Josh Feck. We got Trade with a Bot and Crypto Surfer. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
And goodbye to Sin City Crypto. Rocco!
What?
This is a weird tornado. This is a back and forth tornado. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend our Thursday morning / afternoon with you. If you enjoy the content, make sure to come back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have our man Forrest joining us. We're going to break down some charts and much, much more. We have myself, Robin Rocco. We love you guys. Tomorrow.